Hello again, Roy.RealEstate here with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about pricing your home to sell. So when you get ready to list your home, we've talked about, and I've talked about in other videos, how we'll go through the process of completing a competitive market analysis, looking at the other comparable houses to yours, and then coming up with a suggested price. And as I've discussed, there's a certain amount of knowledge in there and data in there, but there's a certain amount of guesswork. So we can get into a range of values, but not a precise value by that. And then I've also discussed how an appraiser's job is different. They have to get to a precise, to the dollar, to the $1,000 value. So having done that, you're ready to list the house. Now again, because it's not precise, we don't know exactly what it's going to be. So if you're getting ready to sell your house, you want to get the maximum for your house, but you also want your house to sell. So the whole point of putting it on the market, going through all the pain and hassle of the whole listing process, is to sell the house. So you need to make that decision before this. But then when you're making the decision of the pricing, we have a very, very, very active market today. There's very little inventory. COVID actually seems to have kept some people from listing their houses, so the inventory is very low. And the stream of buyers is relatively constant to what it was before. So there's a huge amount of activity. So if the houses are priced appropriately, then they sell just right now. So that's one of the things you're looking at. So, but again, because in that market, things are selling so quickly, and you do want to maximize what you get on your house. So sometimes you will want to price it just kind of on the upper edges of what you think the range is, what we think the range is, as we talked about everything. And that's okay. So the first thing you needed to do, though, is listen to the data. The data I provided you on other houses comparable to yours. Again, the comparables they're never exactly the same. So that's fine. And so we get down to a price range that we think your house is going to sell for. And then if you want to price just a little on the upper edge of that, that's okay, but you don't want to get very far from that range. So then once the house is actually on the market, then you start getting a market-based response to your pricing. So again, in our market today, the $200,000 price range, the houses are just, if they're appropriately priced, they just sell before they hit the market frequently, literally. And so because of that, you want to make sure you're getting activity. So if you have a house, especially in that price range and even lower, if you have a house in that price range that is not getting lots of activity, if you put a house on the market and you're not getting showings every day and you're not getting offers, on a weekly basis at least, and the market is telling you that the house is overpriced. So that's the time to make a quick adjustment, move the price down to a range that would closer to that reasonable range. Again, you're trying to maximize the amount of money you get from this sale, but you're also trying to minimize the amount of time it's on the market and minimize the hassles and headaches that go with it being on the market. So, and to accomplish your goals. So the key is to respond quickly, because if a house sits on the market too long, then it gets a little stale. The people quit looking at it. Oh, that one's overpriced. They don't even look. And a lot of them literally will not even come look at the house because it's out of their price range. If they're approved at $200,000, they're not going to be looking at $225,000 houses. Houses in our market today sell for somewhere in the 97 to 100% of list price. So most people aren't going to look. There'll be some people that'll come in and make a low ball offer, but you don't want to depend on them. And what you want in a perfect world is some competition. So if you price it too high, what happens is that you don't get very many showings, and maybe after a week or two someone decides to make sort of a low offer, hoping maybe you'll accept it, but you've only got one offer. And so if you can price it appropriately, in today's market particularly, there's so many cases we have of multiple offers. So instead of just having one offer that's substantially lower than your ask price because you set the ask too high, you set your ask price properly, and then you may get 3 or 4 offers with different conditions, different whatever the amounts of closing costs they want, or different time frames that may be able to pick the one that suits your needs the best in that whole process. So first listen to the data, and once we have listened to the data and we price it and put it on the market, then listen to the market. If the market is telling you by the crickets around your house because there's no activity, you're not getting daily showings and maybe multiple time a day showings, you're not getting offers, then the market is telling you, hey, you need to lower your price a little bit. So let's do that early so that you're not sitting here with the house been on the market 3 months and then you decide to make a price reduction. Well, at that point, it's really off of people's radar. They're not even really looking at it anymore at that point. And again, all this is based on a very active market, but really the same principles are going to apply in a less active market. So we will have one of those again one of these days, and be prepared for that as well. But you still want to price it in the range that's going to sell, because that's going to get you the most attention, spend the least amount of time going through the hassles of having your house for sale, because I've talked about that in previous videos. And you got to be of it clean, keep it clean for showings, ready to go, all that kind of stuff. And it's a pain. And so what you want to do is shorten that time. You know, that within a couple of weeks, you should have your house under contract. And if not, then the market again is telling you something is not right, whether it's price or condition or something else you can fix. Maybe it needs a paint job, maybe it needs a little freshening up in the front, whatever those kind of things are. Those are parts of it too. But the key is, don't argue with the market. Don't argue with the data, don't argue with the market. When we look at what the market and the data are telling us about the price it there, get it sold, and move on with the rest of your life, because you don't want to be selling this house for the rest of your life. And sometimes that can almost literally happen. So any questions about it, how to do that? I mean, the data I'll bring to you as we're getting ready to go through the process. You know, we can discuss any of that. If you've got questions, give me a call, Roy.RealEstate, 325-268-0775. Thank you.